Hello, I'm Waffles Are Better. In this video I will be showing you how to use jigsaw blocks and create your own custom structures with jigsaw blocks. Just like this one behind me that has generated naturally and has a random selection of these rooms on each side. There were 5 choices and it chose 2 of the same and a blue one and a green one. And while this isn't very impressive, it is really useful for creating things like your own villages because you can randomize which houses generate. This is also used by bastions to randomize different structures there, but really you could use this to make about anything at all that you want. Just to prove that this is random, here is a different one that generated. It has some of the same colors, and that's because I was lazy and only made 5 choices for rooms to generate off the sides. But in this video, I'll also be showing you how to create your own custom villages, and again, you can use this to make basically any structure that you want. So I've loaded myself up a creative world, and I'm just going to /give myself a structure block, and I can use this to generate in any structure I want. So then I'm just going to go into the default Minecraft structure files, and I think I'm going to open the pillager outpost one. So I want the base plate structure to generate, so Minecraft pillager outpost base plate. That should be right. Oops, I forgot there needs to be an underscore, and you can tell because there's an underscore right here. So then if I load this, you can see that it loads the position of the base plate structure. So I can just press load again, and you can see that these jigsaw blocks appear. And there's actually nothing here at the moment besides these jigsaw blocks because that's all the structure is. So in these structure blocks, the target pool determines which template pool it is going to try to generate here, and then the name and target name are both to determine how it will align up with that structure it's going to generate. Then turns into determines what it's going to turn into once the jigsaw block generates. So levels determines how many levels of structures it will generate after this structure it's about to generate. So for example, if you have more layers of jigsaw blocks in the next structure it's going to generate, if the level is set to 1, then it will only generate one structure and just not generate the jigsaw blocks in the next structure. And if it's set to 7, it'll generate up to 7 structures after this next structure. So then if you look at this target pool, it says it's going to try to generate the feature plates. So if I just get the vanilla worldgen file from slicedlime, I can go to worldgen and then template pool, and then pillager outpost, because it says pillager outpost here, and then feature plates, and this is what I want to open. And as you can see, the only structure that it can generate is the pillager outpost feature plate. If I go up to this jigsaw block right here, you can see that the target pool that it is trying to generate is the pillager outpost tower. And you can tell that it's going to connect to the front of the tower right here, and it will turn into air when it is done generating. So I'm going to turn the levels all the way up to 7 and keep on jigsaws so you can see how the jigsaw blocks generate. So as you can see, this it connected to this jigsaw block in the pillager outpost tower structure. So this structure block that I was just looking at, the target pool is the pillager outpost towers, and it's going to connect to any jigsaw blocks in that tower with the name of entrance. And its name is entrance, so any jigsaw blocks in the tower that are named entrance, or that are targeted to entrance, will try to link up to it. So this one, the target pool is empty, so it's not going to generate anything, and its name is entrance, and it targets to the entrance jigsaw block. This one will connect to any jigsaw block that is named entrance or has the target name of entrance. Actually, it'll have to be both of those. So if I just get this jigsaw block by control middle clicking it, you can see that it now has an NBT. Then I place it down right here. Oops, like that. I have to place it like that, so the arrow is pointing the direction I want the structure to generate. I set the levels to 7, and I keep the jigsaws on, and I generate it. You'll see that this jigsaw will always connect to the jigsaw block at the entrance. So if I do that again, we'll keep the levels all the way at 7, keep jigsaws on, and generate. As you can see, again, it connected to the same jigsaw block. So then, if I do the same thing, but keep levels at 7 and keep jigsaws off and then generate, you see that the jigsaw block here does not generate, but it's still connected to the entrance. So if I go ahead and go back to this first structure that I have over here, and if I want to generate the feature plates, I can turn off jigsaws and generate it, and basically it will just generate some random features over here. Or seemingly random at least, because if I go over here and generate it with jigsaws on, then you can see that what it does is it places these jigsaws down that have a chance of generating features. And if I go into the features pool right here, then you can see it has the chance to generate a cage, or logs, or a tent, or it can also generate nothing. So as you can see, it has generated a cage here, and a cage here, and a tent here, and a tent here, and nothing here, or here, or here, or here, or here. And that basically just makes it seem like it's generating a random array of structures. So this is just a quick example, but a better example is village streets. So if I just go over here and go into this folder again, if I go into template pools and village planes, I'm going to take the town centers file and just choose the first one in this file to generate in my structure block to start generating the village. So if I just paste this in here and load it, you can see there's all of these jigsaw blocks here, which are basically going to help generate everything in the village. So this will generate a cat if I set it to 7, and to keep jigsaws off, it'll just spawn a cat there, and this one will spawn a villager, keep jigsaws off. I think one of these spawns an iron golem. Where's the iron golem one? Yeah, this one spawns an iron golem. So I'm going to generate the iron golem. But as you can see with this cat one, or actually this villager one, if I set the level to 7 and I keep jigsaws on, you can see that the actual structure that it's loading in is just a single jigsaw block with a villager on top. So you can use this to spawn mobs in your structures. So then I can go over to this one, and you can see this structure block is going to be generating streets. So if I set the level to 1, for example, and keep on the jigsaws, you can see that it generates a street just like this. And then if I set the level to 7 on here, or 6 actually, maybe 5, and keep the jigsaws on, you can see that it'll generate this random looking village street. And that is because, as you can see, there's this little curvy street segment. Every time you see 2 jigsaw blocks connecting like this, you know that's the border of 2 structures. So this all the way over to here is one structure, which is a straight street. This all the way over to here is a curving structure. This all the way over to here is another straight structure. And then this all the way over to here is a longer street. And then if I generate a village house, I'm going to keep on the jigsaws. You can see that it'll generate a house just like this. But if I take this same jigsaw block, again, control middle clicking to get the NBT, and I place it back down here, oops, like that, and I set the levels to 7, oops, I got inside of the house, you'll see that it actually generates a different house. This one generated the temple, and this one generated, I think, yeah, a mason's house, but it was the same jigsaw block. So basically, jigsaw blocks are used for making larger structures and helping with randomization. So let's see, if I just put 1 here, and 1 here, and 1 here, it'll generate 1 house there, 1 house there, and 1 house there. So if I set it up, then it'll, this one generated a leather worker, and this one generates I think a fisherman. Yeah, fisherman. And this one will generate a mason house. Even though they're all the same jigsaw block, they create random structures. And again, you can see that in, this is the village houses template pool. If I open this, you'll see it has a chance to generate all of these houses. So I've made an example data pack just to show how you could make your own structure using jigsaw blocks. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just take I think maybe just the houses file, maybe the town centers file from the village, and I'll put that in template pool. And I'm just going to rename this to, I'm just going to rename this to, I don't know, rooms. And this is going to be changed to example, because that's where my file is. And this does not have any subfolders, so it's just going to go straight to rooms. And I'm going to go ahead and delete the zombie village ones. So I'm going to change all the weights to be 1. And then I'm going to create 4 rooms. I'm going to put them in, I'm going to remove the processors because you don't need those yet. So no processors. And then my plan is, I don't have the structures yet, but I'm just going to put them in my structures folder, not in any fancy folders. So that's going to be example, and then room 1, I guess. And then this one's going to be example room 2. This one's going to be example room 3. And this one is going to be example room 4. But again, I can't do anything with this yet because I don't have any of these rooms. Then I'm going to make a copy. This is going to be main underscore room. Got to change this to main underscore room. And then going to delete all the other structures in here, so it only has a chance of generating this room, and this is going to be main room. And then I need to create a new folder, configured structure feature, and I'm just going to take the village one from here, so that would be village plains in there. This is going to be called example rooms, and the start pool is going to be example and then main underscore room, and the type is going to be village. So let me just go ahead and make these structures. Okay, so I've got myself these 4 rooms right here, and then this one main room. So I'm going to go over here and grab this structure block. And I'm going to put it here. Instead of Minecraft Village Plains Houses, I'm going to want to choose the rooms template pool, so I'm just going to copy the name, and I'm going to paste it in here. I'm going to change this to example room entrance. Again, copy the NBT by control middle clicking, like that. So I now have this example rooms thing, and I'm going to put it here, and then I'm also going to put it here, and I am also going to put it here. So that means it will generate one of the rooms in the example rooms template pool at every side. So, but now I need to make it so these rooms will actually generate in the right place by adding a jigsaw block. So you're going to want to change this to Minecraft and then empty, because you don't want it to generate anything on its own. You want it to only be generated by the main room. And then you're done, because you need to keep the name and the target name the same, because that's what this is looking for. So I'm going to copy this. I'm going to put it here too. And I'm also going to put it here. And I'm also going to put it here. Then all I need to do is save all of these structures. So as you can see in my main room template pool, the structure needs to be called example main room. So I'm going to copy this, and I'm just going to paste it into this structure block. And then this is saved as my main room. Then This one is going to be, again, in my rooms file, needs to be example room _1. So I'm going to copy this, and I'm going to paste it in here, and save it, and copy that again, and this one is going to be room _2, save that one too, and this one's going to be room _3, and this one is going to be room _4, and you know what, I'm actually going to make a room 5 too. So that means I need to copy this like that, and then add this, and this is going to be room 5. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to, going to load room 1, and then /fill. Alright, now this is just the same structure except purple, and this is going to be room 5. And I'm going to save it. Oops, why did that? Okay. Save. Okay, all these structures are saved, so if I save and quit the title, and then edit this, open the world folder, and then go to generated. Again, those are in generated example structures because that's how I saved it. Just going to copy all of these, and I'm going to drag them into my structures file. Now I just need to make example rooms generate in my biome. So I'm going to go to my example biome. This is just the plains biome that I've copied, except I've changed what's going to generate in it. So this is going to be example and then example rooms, because that's the name of the configure structure feature file. I'm going to save this and then put it in my world, and I'll see what happens. And so as you can see, this is basically just the plains biome because I copied the plains biome. But I'm going to do /locate village, and this is going to be my room structure because it is a village type structure. Here we go. So this generated the rooms randomly, as you can see. There's this main room right here, which is the red room, and then it generated a green one, an orange one, a yellow one, and a blue one. But I can probably, but I'm going to assume I can probably find one that generated the purple one, and I could probably find one that generated some rooms of the same color. So what I'm going to do is /tp like 1,000 blocks away, and then I'm going to try to locate the village again. There we go. Let's see. Oh yeah, this one generated 2 purple ones, and a green one and a blue one, because, as I said, and as I showed, the structures are random out of these 5 room structures that I've made. So I'm just going to do that one more time. I'm going to TP out, and I'm going to locate a village. And here we go. This one has 2 orange ones. So obviously this is just a placeholder, and you're not going to want just this to generate in your world probably. This is just an example of how you can use structure blocks and jigsaw blocks to generate randomized structures like this. Probably you would have more layers, so there would maybe be more rooms connected off the back side of every room. That would be fun to experiment with. But that would be how you create your own custom structures with jigsaw blocks. So how can you use this to create a custom village in your world? Well, I have loaded in every single street that can generate in the snowy village. So, for example, we've got the village snowy streets crossroad 01, and then this one is crossroad 02, this one's crossroad 03, etc. And so what you're going to have to do, this is going to take a really long time, but you're going to want to change every single jigsaw block in here to have the correct template pool. So it's easiest just to copy the Minecraft format. So what I do is I just type frost and then village and then icy. And that is what I'm going to, that's the name of the village that I'm going to do instead of Minecraft Village Snowy. So what my plan is I'm going to put my village in the frost, and my folder is going to be frost, and then template pool, and then village, and then icy. So it'll basically just follow the original Minecraft folder layout. You're probably not going to have to change the name or target name because you might as well keep those the same. So I've gone ahead and changed every single one of these jigsaw blocks to have the correct name. So, for example, I have these 4 copied because these are the 4 that the game uses. So there's the streets, so village, icy streets, and there is decorations, like this will generate trees and I think other animals maybe. This one generates houses, and this one generates pets. In the game, it's actually called cats because it'll generate cats, but I'm going to change it. It might not be cats, so I named it pets instead. Do keep in mind that all of these blocks need to be facing the right direction. So, for example, if this was a wrong one, you would then get the correct block, the street block, and break it and place it like that to make sure it's facing this direction. If it's placed like this, it won't work. It needs to be facing the correct direction that will generate. So once you have all of these generated, you can change them a little bit. So for example, I'm just going to replace all of the paths with ice because I want my streets to be made out of ice. But you don't need to do that. That's just what I'm doing. All right, and then I also need to replace dirt and also grass block. There we go. So now I've got icy streets that can generate in my village. And so now the last thing you have to do is just save all of these files. So I'm just going to change this to frost, over here to icy. So then you can just go ahead and copy frost village icy or whatever you're going to name it, and then change this to save mode and save it. So that might take a little bit, so I'm just going to cut to when I'm done with that. Oh, one thing that I totally forgot that is really important. You need to make sure that all of the air in your structures is not air, it is structure voids. So for that, I can just go back to my fill command that I was using earlier and change it to structure void replace air. Okay, that's really important because you don't want this to be replacing the ground with air. And I guess that doesn't matter if you're using legacy single pool element. So I'm going to have to resave all of these, but that's okay because now I don't have to change anything. I just have to resave the file. Alright, so I'm finally done with all of these structures saved in the correct places with the correct jigsaw blocks and the correct blocks that make them up. And you're also going to want to make sure that these blocks right here have the correct turns into thing, because you wouldn't want them to turn into a grass block if you have a dimension that doesn't have any grass in it. That's just one thing to keep in mind. But now that I'm done with saving all this, I just have to save and quit the title. Then I'm going to open the world I was just in, click on Edit, and Open World folder. And you'll see if you go to Generated, and then Frost, Structures, Village, Icy, Streets, or whatever you named all your folders, they're all going to have saved in this folder right here. So then you're going to want to go to Data, Frost, or whatever your namespace is, and then should be in Structures. And I already have something here, the Frost Outpost. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to Generated, Frost, Structures, and then take Village and just copy and paste it into Structures. So now you can see that all of my structures are in here. I'm going to go to slicedlime's default vanilla worldgen folder and go into worldgen. First I'm going to copy the village from configured structure feature. So that's going to be village snowy because that's the village I copied. Then this is going to go in worldgen configured structure feature. So I could just make it myself, but I might as well copy it. I'm going to change this to frost, and then village, icy, town centers. Then this is going to be a bit weird because I'm just going to, for now, copy all of the template pools that are the default snowy village template pools. I haven't actually replaced all of the structures with new village houses and things, but you are going to want to do that, and maybe I'll do that in a later video, but for now I'm just going to make like placeholders. So that's going to be in template pool, and then village. I'm going to create a new folder called village in here. And then I'm just going to copy the Snowy Village file into this. But you're going to instead rename this to whatever you called your village. That's going to be village slash whatever this is slash town centers. So I'm just going to call it ice. And so then you're going to want to change all of these to icy. And for some reason, this is giving me errors on this. I don't know why you would need a projection type for an empty pool element, but I might as well add those to make the Visual Studio Code happy. And all I do is copy this, press Ctrl H, and replace this with whatever your name is going to be. So that's Frost Village Icy for me because of the file location. So I'm just going to replace all of these, and that should be done for making the streets generate. However, there's also all of these other structures and template pools that you need to modify. I'm not going to do all of that in this video, but I'll maybe do that in a second video. So as of now, the village itself cannot generate because it doesn't have all the correct template pools. Because, for example, you really need to have these town centers have all the right target pools and stuff. And I don't have time in this video to make all of that, but that'll probably be in the next video. But this video should teach you enough how to make custom villages that you won't actually need a second video. Because all you have to do is go into the template pools, so like for instance town centers, and just see all of the structures that you need to replace, just like I did with all these streets, and load those in and replace them how you want, and then you'll have your very own custom villages. That's it for this video. Since I didn't quite finish my village in this video, I might make another video where I complete the village and go over how you can customize all of the structures in villages. But you should know everything that you need to know by now. If you have any questions about anything I covered in this video, or you have any suggestions for future videos, you can leave those in the comments, or you can join my Discord and ask me there. We've got a worldgen help channel and a channel for help on resource packs and other data packs. And thank you guys so much for watching. I've passed 200 subscribers since the last video, and I really never thought that I would get this far. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate every single one of you. Thanks for watching.